Competition that includes the best in the world. The machine-like precision of the Soviets. Dominant, relentless so far in the tournament. Pitted against the unpredictable brilliance of the French. A team that has emerged as a powerhouse here in Moscow. Two teams, two styles. Theirs is a meeting of contrasting disciplines, but only one can win.
Network Television proudly presents the 1986 Goodwill Games from Moscow and from Madrid. Brought to you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our daytime coverage of Day 13 of the Goodwill Games of 1986. We're in an event now that is starting to conclude, but Nick Charles, at the same time, starting to pick up a little momentum toward the end.
Absolutely. Men's volleyball opened, Bob, early this weekend. Just like we expected, along rolled the two superpowers of the game. The U.S. and the Soviet Union both surfaced immediately as the class of this tournament. But they've been joined by a dark horse team from France that has emerged, as Bob told you, from the shadows, also unbeaten. And so, when the Soviet Union took on the French, we expected fireworks. And you'll see some today. But there's more. As you probably know, we've been carrying the Men's World Basketball Championships from Spain in conjunction with the Goodwill Games. That tournament's reached the semifinals, and the United States basketball team has stumbled, looked alternately good and bad at times, but made it to the Final Four. And tonight on our primetime coverage, you'll see the U.S. take on Brazil for the right to get to the gold medal game. The other game will match Yugoslavia against the world's finest, the Soviet Union. But back to this afternoon, there's men's team handball, and we'll follow the surprising team from the United States as they go after a silver medal. That's later in the day, but up next, something that I think many people, certainly around the broadcast center, and a lot of the Soviet people, they've been rerunning it on Soviet television all day, and that's last night's finale, Bob, to figure skating. It just transcended sports. It's really become a thing around here.
Figure skating is an exhibition at these summer games, and exhibition means something different. It's important for our viewers to know that here. It means that they're not keeping score, they're not judging the figure skating, but there are 4 world champions, and it means that they're really giving more entertaining figure skating performances than they would if they were actually under the eyes of the judges. It's been the hit of the games in terms of crowds.
Free and easy and loose and just let it all go, and they have, haven't they?
Okay, and we have a surprise for you right after this word. Stay with us. We'll be right back. The end of the 2-day figure skating exhibition at the Goodwill Games, and there was something about the mood of the crowd that made the performers relaxed, free to display the flair and the creativity that's so integral a part of these memorable ice performances. We want to share the final moments of that special evening with you now. An evening in which Soviet and American athletes come together on the ice. Covering the event for us last night was Kurt Gowdy, Peggy Fleming, and Peter Carruthers.
And there's Vladimir Kotin, the Soviet. And they are going to do a number together, Peggy. I think they had a little practice this morning, and 2 great personalities here. Vladimir Kotin, who had 3 encores here earlier. Soviet and American. Listen to the crowd.
They just worked on this, I think, just a little bit this afternoon. This is a perfect example of what the Goodwill Games are all about. Oh, this is really fun. whole audience is clapping in time to the music.
Little Michael Jackson here. Moscow with the world champion Debbie Thomas and the great Soviet skater Vladimir Kotin.
Oh, what fun.
No, it's surprising to me. So that,
Now they're trading hats.
yeah, they appreciated the fun things tonight more than they did the serious things.
Yes.
They really got in with it.
Oh, now they're moonwalking as they go off. They're so cool. Hey. What fun. I don't think they're going to let them go.
Well, let's find out about that special pair, Debbie Thomas and Vladimir Kotin, from Peter Carruthers.
Well, you two, I think that may have been the greatest moment of the Goodwill Games. How much fun was that? I wish I was out there with you.
Anything. That was the most fun I've ever done in skating, I think.
That was the most fun for you. How about you, Vlad?
When we do this number, I know that she is a good dancer, but didn't know that she a good pupil. She take all the movement very fast.
He taught it to me.
What's that?
He taught it to me.
I think the people here really love seeing the two of you on the ice tonight. How did you feel skating in Moscow with this beautiful woman, Debbie Thomas?
I love this performance, and I love this number with she.
I think if you come back to America, you two ought to get together on the next tour.
Together again.
And then do it again. It was great. And your number, by the way, before that was wonderful. That was great. Do you want to say anything about that?
I want to say sorry for the triple toe loop down there that I fell on.
No big deal. I think this is...
I did it too.
You both fell. Well, you were just... I can't tell you how great that was on the ice tonight, seeing the two of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Closing statement. Sign us up 2 days later. You can also mention the great moment we experienced with Debbie Thomas.
Now, the finale of the figure skating.
And these are all the dance teams coming out in their partners. Now they're switching partners.
Now we have Soviets dancing with Americans. And the women's singles are coming out. Soviet and American. Soviet and American. 4 of them switching partners. And here are the women's singles, including the world champion in the gold, Debbie Thomas. Now the men's singles. Brian Botano, the world champion, right in front of you now with the Russian vest on. And that's Fadeev, the great Russian skater. And here are the pairs on the ice.
The pair teams were switching partners and doing a forward outside spiral. Oh, that's great.
What a scene. Well, we've had 2 nights of skill, creativity, fun, and I mean, I've covered all sports, but marvelous athletic ability. I really enjoyed working with you again, Peggy. We worked in Sapporo way back in 1972. And Peter Carruthers. Peggy, by the way, a lot of people want to know, where does Peggy live now? She's a mother of a 9-year-old son. Her husband's a doctor, and they live in the Bay Area, the San Francisco area.
That's right.
And she's a great lady in athletics and in life. Peter Carruthers, tremendous young man. He and his sister, the silver medalists, and we've had fun working here. And you've seen some of the greatest figure skaters in the world here from the Goodwill Games. And Kurt Gowdy from the Lennon Stadium Sports Palace.
Oh, that was something to see, as Kurt Gowdy just told you so eloquently. For some reason, when I saw the symbolism of the Soviet and the American skaters together on the ice, performing together, and the feeling of goodwill that was there, it reminded me of the late 60s lyric by John Lennon. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Thought that was a moving moment. Hope you agreed with that. We'll be back with men's volleyball, an excellent match between the Soviet Union and France right after this. Well, the United States men's volleyball team is on a roll. They are 3-0 in matches, 9-0 in games. They have not lost one single game. They have some nagging injuries, however, and there are 2 other very good teams. That is the Soviet Union team and the French team. They are both in Group A. The United States has already clinched the top spot in the Group B of the volleyball and is into the semifinal and will play the loser of the USSR-France game today. But one of those 2 teams is going to be the major roadblock for the United States. They are both excellent, contrasting styles. We're going to go now to our volleyball venue for the game between the Soviet Union and France.
Welcome back to game number 3 between the Soviet Union and France. These are the top 2 teams of the pool that we are labeling Pool A. The United States and Japan have survived from Pool B. The 4 teams will go into the medal round, but right now we are trying to decide who is first from this pool. And right now, things are quite even. The Soviet Union took game number 1, 15-5, and France took the second game, 15-11. So we're tied at 1 game apiece in this best-of-5 match. Soviet Union in red, France is in blue. So we have a side out for the Soviet Union.
Here's Zaitsev going to the big hitter, Savin, as he's done so many times in the past. They didn't use him much in the second game, and they lost that. So they're going to be going to Savin more, I would suspect. In game 2, though, the big story for the French was Alain Fabiani to Eric Bouvier. That 1-2 punch is what put away the Soviets, and they'll hope to continue with that pace.
Antonov, number 11 for the Soviet Union. Looking rather dejected as the French take a 1-0 lead. Sorokilis. Bouvier hustling, can't get to it, side out.
Looked like it was there. Menenstein scared him a little bit. Bouvier hustles for everything. Quick, well-coordinated athlete.
Antonov.
Zaitsev had that ball in his sight, put it up there. Could have been either set or hit, and Antonov wasn't going to miss the opportunity to put that ball in the backcourt. No one even close to it.
Akitacha Masakazu from Japan, our first referee. Net violation called against Bouvier. I'm sorry, it is called against, no, it is Bouvier, okay. It is a point for the Soviet Union, 3-1. Through the block. Penchenko saves it. Vilde tips it over. Bouvier goes up to hit into a triple block and gets it back for the French.
Nice save by Zaitsev in the backcourt for the Soviets to keep that alive. But here's Bouvier again delivering. Big wall up there by the Soviets to no avail.
Gansanov.
He really works that court over. The one before down the line, this one sharply cross court. Great left hand, good wrist.
And the best server in the world, as we're about to see. Bouvier into a block that goes too far out of bounds. Oh, this ain't good.
Very, very close.
And out come the Boo Birds. Some whistles. 4-1. The Soviet Union on top.
Let's see if the French lose their concentration on that call that they feel was a bad call.
Lob almost worked. Ah, it's good.
No, that one missed. That one missed.
Now that one I thought was good, and the other one I thought missed. Let's see. We'll get another look at it.
If you don't see any chalk go up, Leandra, you'll know it missed.
That missed. It's a good thing I'm not reffing this match. 1-4.
I'll tell you, those balls are awfully close. You can see where the tennis players lose it when that little ball bounces on that line or just misses. Oh, Bouvier.
From the backcourt.
And a great set.
2-4.
Fabiani really likes to go to Bouvier. They read each other nicely.
Again, we have the request for a floor wipe on the Soviet side of the net. And as the match progresses, if you've been watching our coverage, you'll notice that the floor wipes become more frequent as the players perspire more. 2-4. Vilde and Sarakola confused about that set. Sometimes confusion works. Blaine shot is out of bounds. None of the Soviet blockers touched it. It is 5-2 USSR. Into the net. There is no let in volleyball. If it grazes the net, it's a side out. Penchenko hits into the French block.
Bad pass, so there was no deception there. And the very alert French block capitalizes.
3-5. Number 9 for France, Laurent Thierry serving. That spike was long. Now it's a question of, did somebody touch it? Now we're going to have a yellow flag called against the French team.
The referee pulled out a red flag, which would have cost him a point, and quickly pulled out that
it to the yellow.
It should be a yellow, yeah.
That's like a warning.
Usually
then the red is a point. Another one is a game.
The first time is usually a yellow, unless it's a very flagrant violation.
And then it can go all the way to match.
The coach is not supposed to do anything out there. The captain can protest and talk to the referee, but the coach cannot. And the referee is king. Anything he says, immediately he cools everybody on the court, because that red flag can be pretty deadly.
Penchenko.
Zaitsev able to isolate him on a one-man block.
Zaitsev serving.
Great dig.
Panchenko hits right into a block that comes right at him.
So Roquelet dug that ball out of the ground, made a pretty play, and then the block from France takes advantage.
3 serving 5. Out of bounds, nobody touched it on the block. Points for France, 4 serving 5. Panchenko spiking it, but it comes back off the block. Panchenko again.
Zaitsev knows his hitters. Knew Panchenko wanted that ball the second time. He goes up, snaps it home.
Is that an unwritten rule in volleyball that if you're blocked, you get it again so you can try to muscle through?
Depends on the hitter. Some hitters, when they get blocked, really don't want that ball back again right away. Know your hitters.
Oh, elbow ball. It's legal.
Not that time. Zaitsev gave it a good try.
As long as it's contacted above the waist, it is a legal hit. It can deflect off your elbow, off your shoulder, even off your head.
Alexander Savin for 6'7", a very quick man up there in the center. Quick arms, quick hands, and he reaches one of the finest blockers in the world.
Jean-Marc Djokovic for France will serve. They trail by 1. Antonov gets blocked by Bouvier.
And suddenly it's a brand new ball game. The French have snuck back up.
We are tied in more ways than one at the volleyball match between the Soviet Union and France. They each have won one game, and our score in the third game is tied at 5.
Soviets winning that one at the net. They're strong up there. The ball's going back and forth really fast, and the Soviets prevail.
Now it is 6-5. Bouvier sends it out of bounds, uncharacteristic of his hitting style. 7-5 USSR.
He's missed a few times, but it's always gone in the court. That's the first time he's missed the ball and it's gone out. Playing a whale of a game. The block
Antonov blocked him beautifully.
is getting on Bouvier.
They may want to spare him, give him a rest, as the French team calls a timeout. They're trailing by 3 points at this junction, 8-5. And I think they are going to have to mix up the offense a little bit because Bouvier simply cannot do it all.
Well, once you start getting in trouble on that pass, the Soviets are serving a little bit better, and they are ready on that block. They really look hungry up there. They're moving along that net. They're very proud of the fact that they control the net on offense and on defense, and that's what they've got to do to win this match.
Eric Daniel, their head coach, Michel Janson, the assistant, all trying to come up with the best scheme to stop the powerful Soviet Union. The scores were a little bit lopsided. In the first game, the Soviet Union won 15-5. It was like France wasn't even there. The second game was a very different battle, with France prevailing 15-11, but they had to earn every point.
Alexander Savin, the server, and he's served 3 very nice serves and has gotten the French into trouble. Let's see what he does after a timeout. Lollipop serve.
That's all right, it got it in. Side out for France.
And then Savin didn't cover. Let the dink go down. Double mistake.
That could be a great folk song. Let the dink go down. In the Soviet Union.
Bum-bum-ba-dum. Ooh,
too long.
On the French. Return the favor.
Antonov, premier server in the world, behind the line for the USSR. That's where it gets you. His serve is so hard that the pass comes back over the net, the middle blocker jumps up and cleans your clock.
Dilday looked very relieved because he really didn't hit that ball well, and it just barely hit the line on the other side.
He almost didn't have to hit it well when that happened. Scramble ball. Dilday swings in fake, and it comes through with Roquelet. 10-5 USSR.
Nice play on both sides. Crowd loving this. Here it is. Finally gets the ball down. Sarakulet sparkling up there, but because Zaitsev makes him look that way. Zaitsev, the old master, been watching him for 10 years do the exact same thing. A lot of enemies.
Putting it away is France, getting the side out so Bouvier can step behind the line and try to put some points on the scoreboard for the French team.
Philippe Lane corking that ball from the backcourt.
Wilde having to set. Sarakulet goes softly over a triple block. Sarakulet thinks again. Wilde on a solo block is outmaneuvered.
Stefan 4, 6'4", high in the air, and whips it down. French are down by 4 as Bouvier goes back to serve. They need an ace right here.
Almost got one.
Yeah.
Antonov.
Antonov rips it down the line.
Vukovic can't handle it. It'll be a side out for the USSR.
Here he is. He hits all the angles. He likes to hit that ball down the line or sharply cross court. Very seldom down the center.
Side out for France.
Antonov gives it the old college try. Just misses it.
In game number 3 between the USSR and France. They are even at 1 game apiece.
How much time did you have for that? How much time did you have for that last segment?
Great solo block. Antonov from the backcourt. Bouvier goes to the backcourt. Oh! Panchenko.
Panchenko is ready.
You can see the Soviet faces going, man, oh man, what a rally.
Action really heating up here. Zaitsev has the full control of the court, looked around, decided which one he was going to give it to, and laid it right up there.
10 serving 6. Eric Bouvier.
Right back at you. The
Good
French,
quick move.
in the way of Stefan 4. Throws that ball in there. Quick save by Zaitsev. French wall says no, sir. Mais non. Here it is. The block is as good as ever been. All 3 guys right there in the center.
7-10, the French closing in. Antonov gets out blocked, but the block sends it out of bounds. A break for the Soviet Union.
The French blockers are doing a lot better job this last game and a half. That's why they're competitive in here, 7-10. Ooh, Bouvier. Pop. It's the 6th hit of this game for Bouvier, even though they've gotten to him a few times.
Jean-Marc Vukovic serving. Sarakulet.
Oh, nice swing. Beautiful play by Stefan 4. The
8 serving 10.
Block is getting a piece here. They get the ball back up, and Stefan 4 hits against the big wall and slips it through. Ooh, again, a great serve.
9 serving 10, and a Soviet timeout has been called. Their comfortable lead has now dwindled to just 1 point. At 1 apiece, and now they are even in score at 10 all.
Laurent Tilly up there, walling one-on-one, getting to him.
Miraculous.
Oh.
The block was too strong. Side out.
But it was a nice block, even though it went out of bounds. They're really getting to them. They're serving so well that there's very little deception. French blockers rushing over there and ganging up.
Alexander Savin will serve for the Soviet Union.
Bouvier is ready. French are playing smooth and steady. Here it is, Bouvier before the block can get up there. Quick stuff working for the French.
As we look at Alain Fabiani, the setter, number 12 in blue, the quarterback of the team on the French side of the net. And that one goes to Antonov, who puts it down with his left hand in authority. Substitution for the Soviet Union coming into the contest is Igor Urunov at 6 feet 8 inches tall, 22 years of age. He's got some size and youth in there. Vyacheslav Zaitsev takes a seat on the bench. Antonov serving.
First time Urunov has been in the game. Let's see what he does. Urunov was part of that block, but the big man was Vilde, as he's been all night. Soviets have gotten off the 10, 11 serving 10.
Bouvier gets it back.
They just go to him and go to him. You'd think that the Soviets would start ganging up and anticipating that, but they don't. Bouvier's still effective.
Valery Losov has gone into the game. Antonov has come out.
They're getting Antonov and Zaitsev a much needed rest on the bench.
Oh, bad pass. And the French tied again at 11.
And that's the old pro, Alexander Savin, making a couple of bad passes out there. Very unusual for him.
This is Selivanov, number 6. Pavel Selivanov is 34 years of age, 6 feet 4 inches tall. And he is going in for Alexander Savin. And Savin, as he exits the game, gets a thunderous applause.
Selivanov, an old favorite too, into the game.
Karavaev. Bouvier ups it. Lane
everything works for the
to
French.
The setter, Alain Fabiani, the captain and setter, who takes a peculiar spike and gets the team a point.
Oh!
What a strange shot that was.
Fabiani, from a hero to a bum. That ball was over. The serve was beautiful. Bad pass, and they didn't take advantage of it.
Serve into the net. The favors return. Side out.
Karavaev. Tough.
12
Gray
serving
hairs
11.
for the Soviet coach.
Service is out of bounds. Side out again. And what a change in fate this would be if France were to take this match. Coming back into the game is Alexander Savin. Coming out, Pavel Selivanov.
Savin in the front row. Great blocker. But
Side out to front.
They take advantage of Igor Urunov. Tuck that ball in before Urunov could get up. Nice play.
Panchenko deflects one off the block, gets it back for the Soviet Union.
Soviets reading a little bit here, but hanging on.
Coming back into the game for the Soviet Union is Yaroslav Antonov, number 11.
And Zaitsev going back to serve. With a vengeance.
Stefan 4.
Nice block, nice hit. Here it is, and he gets up quickly before the block can assemble. Quick offense for the French.
Down the line, there's still a chance. That would have to send it over, but it was in vain, and the crowd appreciates that noble effort.
Nicely done. Kept the hand on it all the way. Pretty play. French will feel good about that.
Karavaev. The game is tied.
Good battle out there. Both teams playing good defense. The Rocklet pops down the line. Gets away with it.
We're tied at 12. As the French bring in fresh blood. To 12, and France has decided to call timeout, their second and final timeout of this game. The Soviet Union won the first game, France won the second, and now the Soviet Union is on top by 1 point in game 3. Savin cannot get to it. Side out for France.
Savin really wanted to knock that camera down and save the ball. He gave it the angry Russian glare to no avail. French, being the underdog, really need to win this third game.
The Rocklet.
One-man block up.
And 185 pounds of power was put into that volleyball. 13-12. That's out. And we are at game point for the Soviet Union.
Crowd pulling big, trying to give a little energy out there.
Listen to him. Subbing in, Stefan 4. French saves themselves.
The old junk ball works. The French have been serving from very deep off the court, and thus far it's been a very effective device. Getting the Soviets to a bad pass a few times out there. In fact, more than a few.
Philippe Blaine, number 1 for France, will serve. You look at Alain Fabiani, Goodwill ambassador for these games, captain and setter of the French team. Sarakalot has no trouble finding his turf. Side out again for the Soviet Union, and we are at game point once again.
Zaitsev gets the good pass. He has 3 options. He goes to the outside man, and Sarakalot delivers. One-man block only.
Putting the hammer down is Bouvier.
Without a doubt. They go to the big man, and he comes through. 12 serving 14.
Couldn't get back in time.
I'm not sure that was supposed to be his set, but he reached up and hit it anyway. Zaitsev talking to him about, hey, let that ball go to the second option.
Game point for the Soviet Union.
Oh,
no
nice.
blocker is there. Laurent Tilly.
It's called faked out. Danchenko did not know where to go on this ball. He goes down, the double pump, and down it goes. Good play. French stay alive. Danchenko. Oh,
illegal hit.
Thrown ball.
I agree.
Too bad.
They hate to have a call like that at a time like this, but Stefan Ford did a little bit of a 1-2 touch on it.
Yeah, he gloved it up there. Too bad a hitter trying to set that ball.
Game point.
Fabiani not happy. Arguing with the ref still. He gets the yellow card. Referee says play. My call, you play.
Raymond Wilde serving.
Second option that time. Struck.
Djokovic gets vindicated for his team. Now they get a chance to put some points up there. Let's see what Alain Fabiani can do as server. Danchenko hits into the block. It comes back, and France is now within 1.
Footsteps coming up the road. The French are coming back a little bit. Great match.
It's still up. No one's on. I didn't think anybody was going to hit it. Bouvier from the back court.
Bouvier.
We're tied at 14, and our game cannot end at 15. Our score is tied at 14 between the French and Soviet Union teams. They are even at 1 game apiece, and now France has given up the service to the Soviet Union as they touched it. You'll see it right here off the block.
Antonov, money in the bank.
Zaitsev serving. As I said, we are tied at 14. You must win by 2 points at this juncture.
Philippe Lane hitting with a vengeance. They're really snapping that ball. The French are excited. Much more important for them to win this game than the Soviets because they're the underdog. They're away from home. Need this one bad. Nice tip shot.
One-handed set, one-handed dink. Side out USSR.
Alexander Savin stretches all the way out as tall as he can get to make that play. Pretty play.
Panchenko serving. Bouvier goes right over the block to get it back.
Again and again, he reaches. He's the perfect hitter. Extends just as far as he can and snaps with his wrist. He has 10 successful putaways in this game, leading both sides.
They say it's out. The French do. Waiting for an official confirmation of that. It is 15-14 France. This is game point for France. And what a turn of the tide this has been. Sorokic. It's still good. Great save by Vilde there. And an uncontested, but a net was called way before that on the Soviet Union. And France has won it 16-14 in a great comeback.
Well, I hope you're enjoying the volleyball game. We've had a very interesting development in the world of boxing. You may recall that we've been following the story of Harvey Richards, the light heavyweight who was disqualified in his quarterfinal bout for a low blow by the referee. The referee disqualified him for the entire tournament and allowed Dane Niels Madsen to continue fighting, and Madsen was to go into the semifinals. But, Nick Charles, we got a decision that was overturned by the 4-man jury.
It's the first time I could remember
Surprising.
something like this happening. Right, exactly. A 4-man jury from the International Boxing Federation ruled today, overturned the decision, took the U.S. protest under consideration, and ruled that it is a no decision rather than Richards being disqualified. To carry that a step beyond, Madsen, the Danish boxer, said he is retiring from the competition for personal reasons, a lot of stress, whatever, not medical reasons, but he is flying back home. Therefore, in a bizarre turn of events, suddenly Richards is in the bronze medal. He's guaranteed of at least a bronze medal, and he's suddenly back in the Goodwill Games competition. And Bob, I don't think it's a question of was the blow intentional or not, but I think it was, did it incapacitate Madsen? It did not, yet the referee stopped the bout anyway and disqualified Richards.
So American officials said that they had never seen this happen in major international competition before. So Harvey Richards, who, by the way, was quoted during all of this also that he didn't care what happened now because he'd lost his motivation to fight. Now, my belief is that Harvey Richards probably has his motivation returned. You know, Harvey Richards was the National Golden Glove champion in his light heavyweight division. He beat Michael Simon for that in 1986. He's nicknamed the Preacher. Harvey Richards is an interesting young man. We talked with him personally here in our studio. He was over 2 or 3 days ago. He has a tremendous attitude. He's very motivated to fight for his country. He is going to be fighting Andrei Karavaev. And Karavaev, we showed it in a bout last night, just really soundly defeated a fighter from East Germany. The referee had to stop the contest, as a matter of fact, because there was a knockout on the way coming. So we'll see Harvey Richards going in action against Andrei Karavaev, who is a very tough fighter from the Soviet Union. We're going to carry that live. We're going to go back now to our volleyball game going into game number 4 between the Soviet Union and France. But we wanted to update you on the boxing story and tell you that we're going to be leaving the volleyball game to go to Don Chevrier and Paul Horning live when that fight with Harvey Richards comes up. It ought to be exciting. It'll be interesting, and we'll be joining it for you as we attempt to give you the very best coverage possible of the Goodwill Games of 1986. But right now, let's go back to that good volleyball game.
A very exciting contest here at Lennon Central Stadium, smaller arena. The French national team has beaten the Soviet Union in games 2 and 3, so the USSR is down 2 games to 1 in this final round of pool play. And what this means is the loser of this match will face the USA. The winner will face Japan in the semifinals towards the gold medal and Sabine Cup.
Soviet starts off with Yaroslav Antonov nailing that ball down the line.
0-0. This is game 4. Side out for France.
Quick attack of the French. Again working. Bread and butter play, Elaine Fabiani to Eric Bouvier.
Illegal hit is called. Point, France.
Zaitsev appears to me to be tiring a little bit. Between plays, a lot of time he sits on his heels. Camera isn't covering it, but he's down there. It looks like he's trying to rest. Nice play. That time very deceptive back to Savin.
0 serving 1. Bouvier with a fingernail piece of that. One-handed block by Philippe Blaine is effective.
Soviets have lost the first 2 games of this whole tournament, and it looks like they're being out-quicked up there. French are just out-hustling them. They'd won 6 games in a row.
They took 3 from Brazil, 3 from Poland, took 1 from France, and then tripped on the next 2. What do you think will happen here?
I think the Soviets will come back and win this one.
Time will tell as the service goes into the net.
Again, momentum is definitely in the French camp.
0 serving 1. Bouvier hits into the block. It comes down to the Soviet side. Side out.
He is hot. That's the hottest combination that I've seen the whole tournament. Dodgeball. And a very quick Raymond Vilde jumps out of the way. Vilde not as much of a force in these last 2 games as he has been prior to this.
Another service that's wide and long.
Conditioning will start to play a part in this match from here on in. Concentration is tougher when you're getting tired.
Bouvier serving. Vilde. Nice save. It'll come over free. I thought it would.
Way to rip. Way to rip.
What an off-balance, out-of-court spike that was.
But Philippe Blaine, again, that French team is hot, and Blaine says, hey, I'm going for it. Great play. 2-zip. Everything the French does seems to work.
Service into the net. That won't work. Side out. Laurent Tilly. And the Soviets can't seem to get their motor running.
Elaine Fabiani is moving that ball around well. Very deceptive.
Antonov.
Blaine had that lined up, but he just couldn't control it. The ball comes right in his lap. Off balance, can't get it.
Request for a floor wipe.
The Soviets have been so tough over the years, and they continue to be tough, but they haven't improved over the last 3 years, and teams like the United States and France have been coming up and catching up with them.
Side out for France.
Nice rip. Cross court sharply. Second option works.
Elaine Fabiani serving for France. Tanchenko with a spike.
Soviet block there, 3 strong. They couldn't handle it. Sarakolet looked like he had a piece of it, but not enough.
Soviet Union still unable to score in this game.
Zaitsev continues to rest on his heels between plays. Nice cut back. The big lefty comes all the way across court. Antonov cuts back sharply, finds pay dirt. Soviets yet to get on the board. 0-2.
Sarakolet. Off the block, they say. And finally, a point for the Soviet Union.
The French challenge that, and then finally Jean-Marc Jerkovitz raises his hand guiltily. It was moi.
Bouvier gets a piece of it, but sends it out of bounds, and now we are tied at 2.
French finally making a couple of errors. Russians capitalize. Good
Beautiful
wall.
block by the Soviet Union.
First time the quick stuff hasn't worked too well.
3-2. Bouvier is outblocked by the USSR, 4-2.
And back come the Soviets with a rush. Big wall up there. Bouvier can't find the floor for first time in a long time. Savin goes for the coffin corner and just misses.
Licking his chops, hanging up there was Antonov.
Double pump. Antonov goes up, fakes the jump, and then goes up again. The block's already come down. Pay dirt.
And now he'll serve. An ace. 5-2. One more point, and I think we'll see a French timeout.
That's the one Antonov takes to the bank. A great server. Again, gets him into trouble in the serve.
Bouvier. Sarakolet passing. Antonov from the back court. Bouvier on 2.
This
Goes
time
through the
he
block.
comes over the block and down. Nice dig, by the way. The French are controlling that ball in the dig. Perfect set. Over and down. 2-5. French gave away 5 big ones. Philippe Blaine trying to encourage his teammates to come back strong.
Blaine serving.
Sacre bleu.
Next one for takeoff by Sarant. Off the block, and you can see Bouvier cursing himself for touching it.
And Antonov rips that ball, gets it down.
And France calls a timeout. They trail by 4.
We're going to cut away from our volleyball game now to go live to the indoor boxing arena at the Olympic Sports Complex with Don Chevrier and Paul Horning to cover that fight with Harvey Richards, who's been reinstated, going to be fighting the Soviet fighter. Let's go now live to coverage of that bout.
All right, Bob, and thank you very much. We're here at ringside in the Olympic Sports Complex in Moscow, where Michael Simon has just finished his bout against Shenevazov of the Soviet Union, and we're going to be looking forward to an event here that almost didn't take place. In fact, for a couple of days looked like it wouldn't take place. Harvey Richards of the United States will get a second chance. Let's try to condense what happened to Harvey the other day.
Well, I tell you, Harvey Richards got second life. He was fighting Niels Harsgaard Madsen from Denmark. And we're going to take another look at this, Don. Now watch Harvey Richards. He's way ahead. This is in the second round. You're going to see a low blow right there with the left hand, and it hit Madsen, and you can see he's doubled it up. Now he gets up and he's ready to fight. Now watch what happens with the referee here.
A Soviet referee.
Madsen said, I was counted out. We've got a replay here. It's not the clearest of shots here, but right there you can almost feel it. It was a low blow.
It's a pretty clear shot for the Dane to take, I'll tell you. But here is where it all fell apart. It was the application of the rule. An intentional low blow, of course, you're disqualified. An unintentional one, as that one certainly appeared to be, means a point can be taken away. The bout would continue. The American looked like he was going to win that bout anyway. What has happened since the Americans filed a protest? In the interim, the Danish fighter did not make the medical today. He didn't show up, so they called it no contest.
Don, the referee disqualified Harvey Richards in that fight. That's where the mistake was made. Then, of course, the referee of that fight was suspended. He did not get, they said, no more refereeing for you, pal. You made a mistake, and I'll tell you one thing, Madsen cleared up a lot. He said, I don't want to fight. He missed away, and he said, listen, I was counted out. I'm finished for this deal. So
it's called no contest.
Right, no contest. Harvey Richards is live again.
And rightly so, because it was the poor application of the rule by the referee. And then the jury actually following that in there looking at it and assessing what had happened. So to make a long and drawn-out story very short, Harvey Richards of the United States is still alive here in the light heavyweight section of the Goodwill Games boxing competition here in Moscow. And who knows, that could be a story in the making that could resemble Cinderella. Coming out of an almost go-home situation, you're out, you're disqualified along the lines of Evander Holyfield back in the Olympics. He gets a second chance, something Holyfield never got.
And he's going to be fighting a Soviet tie, of course, very experienced as all the Soviets are. We've got over 14,000 people here as you get a look at Harvey Richards from Springfield, Illinois. He'll be going against Andrei Karavaev of the Soviet Union, 23 years old. Now watch Harvey. He's a wild swinger, right, Don? And I tell you, if he gets lucky and hits you with one of those wild punches, pal, you're going to go down. He's a strong hitter.
Karavaev, third of the Soviet championships, has won his two bouts here very easily, which is more than Harvey can say. His took 2 days to complete, the one just to get him here into this semifinal bout. As you say, from Springfield, Illinois, in the bout that he did get off his chest earlier, he stopped the Tanzanian in the very first round.
And with the wild right away, likes to get going quickly. He's a little bit anxious right now.
So we are underway. Harvey Richards of the United States getting a second chance. He is a free swinger, as they would say, around the baseball batting cages. Takes a good shot there from Karavaev. Karavaev, of course, a little more experienced than Harvey.
Harvey's the National Golden Glove champ of 1986.
And he is dancing away from his Soviet opponent now, just trying to figure this man out of the first round. With you live from Moscow and the Soviet Union here with a large and enthusiastic crowd, must number 12,000 plus here at the Olympic Sports Complex.
I think the Soviet size may give Harvey a little trouble. Harvey is 6'2½", and he usually is taller than his opponent. And this Soviet is a little bit taller and giving him some trouble right now.
Nailed it with a right a couple of times there, and Harvey comes right back with a chopping right hand of his own and a wild looping left for the Soviet ducks under. Karavaev is 90-7.
Boy, he holds that left very, very high. Those long arms. I think he's got a longer reach than Harvey Richards.
Yeah, and Harvey's got a long one himself. He's very unorthodox style, though, as you can see. We're about near the midway point of the first round. Harvey, as the Soviet turns, hammers him there, back of the head. Brings the left hand and is cautioned by the referee. Referee is Baumgart from East Germany.
20-point must system for the winner of each round. Usually it's 20-19. You almost have to knock the guy out to get 20-18.
Yeah, we're looking at 20-19 here, and probably the Soviet would have the 20 from what we've seen so far, 2 minutes into the round. But in this light heavyweight division, the secret is to survive for a couple of rounds and turn it on in the third round. There's a caution again from the official, who does not have a vote, as you've seen on these amateur boxing bouts. 5 judges decide things.
He has a tendency. You see all that wild swinging? Is that he'll hit him on with the inside of those gloves. And the whistles, of course, are light the American boo, and they're trying to get to Harvey Richards with those wild swings.
Well, that's how the incident happened the other day with the Dane. He is such a wild swinger. He did not deliberately, of course, try to hit the man low.
What really should have happened, he should have had a point taken away and the bout continue. That would have been fine. But no, the referee disqualifies Harvey. Yes, that's where it all started.
Misapplication on the referee's part. But he's back here with a chance, and now brings a solid left hook up to the jaw of the Soviet. Karavaev, 15 seconds to go in the first round.
I don't care how good you are from the Soviet side. Harvey Richards will mess up your timing. He just comes in and starts swinging, and now he's taking a few hard.
Takes a good shot at the bell. Sanders in the corner with Harvey Richards of the United States, who took a standing 8 count just as we left you right at the bell. The East German referee held the count for a count of 8 as he took a shot from the Soviet, Andrei Karavaev. Sanders, of course, following in the footsteps of Pat Nappy, who coached the United States Olympic team in Los Angeles. In fact, Roosevelt aiming to become the U.S. Olympic boxing coach in Seoul 2 years from now. And he's had a mixture of fighters here to deal with, some experienced and some not so experienced, as last-minute fill-ins for the Goodwill game.
Karavaev, 23 years old, been boxing for 5 years, and he's already had 97 fights. So that means he's fighting every 2 weeks for 5 years.
He's won 90 of the 97. And with authority here, a chopping right hand lands on the hand of Harvey Richards. He fires a good right.
He comes back fighting, though. He's awkward.
6'2½", swinging wildly.
He's got a lot of heart, though.
He does. And he was given a chance here to come back from what looked like an exit visa out of the Goodwill Games boxing tournament, but reinstated, having a chance to go on to the gold medal bout on Saturday. And he would likely meet another Soviet in that one. But first, he's got to get past this one, the experienced Karavaev. Looking a little better in the second round than he did in the first.
He's got to watch when he swings with the inside part of that glove. It's called a slap, and he might get a point taken away. Boy, he winds up and lets it go, doesn't he, Don?
Well, this referee has done that. He's taken a couple of points away from boxers earlier for lesser infractions. But right now, letting them do their thing with about 1 minute and 20 seconds to go in the second round.
It only takes one to put a guy down, and I tell you, he's light heavyweight, 178 pounds. See, one little shot there. He
gets a good right.
Flush on the chin.
Good scoring blow by Harvey Richards. We will advise our stations at the end of this round. We'll have a word from our local stations. Right now, 1 minute to go in the second round. And at this size, light heavyweights, 81 kilograms, one punch can change about in one big hurry.
I tell you, it would be wild if Harvey would happen to stun the Soviet, because he's wild as it is, but with his opponent stunned, it would be interesting to see.
See what he can do. 40 seconds to go on the round. Soviet leading him with the left hand, measuring him, coming through with the right. Chopping right hand, that landed. Good scoring blow by the Soviet. They will separate them and let them continue. I thought he might give him another standing 8 count on that. But it does continue. Harvey did take one late in the first round. Hey, there is a point being taken away for the glove being open. That's that slapping that he cautioned him for now. Gets an official warning, and a point can be deducted by the ringside officials. So Harvey in tough here late in round 2. Now he gets told again about that open glove.
It's not intentional. He just swings so wildly.
He is so awkward, so unorthodox that all sorts of things are happening to Harvey Richards here in this Goodwill Games. We will be back here later this second round now with round 3 after a word from our local station. Moscow, in the heart of the Soviet Union. Harvey Richards of the United States, Springfield, Illinois, playing catch-up here. He is behind in this third round to the Soviet Andrei Karavaev, who is third of the Soviet championships. He's won 2 bouts easily here. It looks like he's on his way to a third. The wild swinging Richards, though, with a lot of hard hangs in there.
It is again a warning again with the slap on the inside of that glove. He had a point taken away in the second round, and it's probably 2018, first round 2019, so he needs a miracle.
And also the ringside judges, without the referee directing them, can deduct points if they spot a foul on their own. So Harvey had a standing 8 count late in the first round at the bell. Then that point deducted in round 2. He's really in trouble here. Karavaev has been all over him. Certainly the more skilled of the two, the more disciplined boxer of the two. But a very stiff upright throw.
A combination. This place is up for grabs, I'll tell you. Harvey really got hit. He leaned into the rapid hands of Karavaev and just went down in a pile. It is all over. Harvey is being escorted back to the corner. The East German referee will allow no more. And it happened oh so suddenly here in round 3. Karavaev, over 14,000 people here on hand. They're on their feet. And, of course, this hometown having fun here. As Harvey.
Here it is, Paul. It all happened in a hurry. They were in a clinch. He was just getting back.
Now watch.
Little
Here comes the hit.
And out of nowhere, bang.
That's the one that really started it. Flush on the chin. He knows he's in trouble. He's a little bit dizzy now.
He took 2 pawing kind of shots. There is the short chopping right. Another one on the way down. That hurt. And he did spring to his feet rather quickly, but much too late.
With 2:06 into the 3rd round, a knockout for Andrei Karavaev.
I think they'll adjust that to 1:06 with 1 minute and 54 seconds left on the clock up above us. But it happened early in the 3rd round for Harvey Richards. And it was a fight that he was not winning anyway. He did not want to end it the way it did, but he did get his second chance. And he certainly got the vindication and the justice out of the bout against the Dane, but could not advance past Andrei Karavaev of the USSR in this one. So Harvey Richards will not go on to the final. Another Soviet, and there's a long parade of them going to the finals on Saturday night here in Moscow. Does advance. They will make the official announcement now and declare the Soviet Karavaev the winner, having stopped Harvey Richards in round number 3 early on. Big commotion here. I don't know if some celebrity or some politician arrived, but the crowd here is acknowledging the presence of whomever it might be.
It may have been
Ted Turner, I think, has arrived here. He's a recognizable man in the USSR from the Soviet, and recognizable now as the winner is Andrei Karavaev of the USSR, who wins this one 1:06 of the 3rd round, stopping Harvey Richards of Springfield, Illinois. And that's all for now from boxing. Bob Neal returns right after this word.
Well, the preacher, Harvey Richards, got a second chance when he was reinstated following the disqualification. But as you can see, the second chance meant he had to face a strong right hand, Nick Charles.
He did. Karavaev, as you said, you watched him before, very impressive. And today, again, you could see it coming, it seemed. It's easy to sit up here and second guess. But I'm sure as they went out to the 3rd round and the final round, the Soviet coach told his boxer, this guy's leaning in. The American's just leaning in, dropping his left shoulder. And here we see it in slow motion. It's a question of a direct hit, the right. There was no jab that set anything like this up. But the Soviet just bulls him away here, and now misses with the right, tries a left, and now connects with the right. Actually, Richards at this point was trying to get away, but the right got it done, and then on a second right, as Richards' knees buckled and he was down on a canvas. This one wasn't close. Karavaev obviously had this fight won before that, but this left no doubts.
Well, from Springfield, Illinois, Harvey Richards, who was in our studio, said he was proud to fight for his country. He was very glad that he got the reinstatement. During all of the hubbub over the low blow incidents, he said that he was very sorry that that it happened and he wasn't motivated anymore. But you can see in that fight, Harvey Richards was very motivated. The problem is he was leaning into the right hand of the Soviet boxer. Now, Karavaev is going to fight another guy with a great right hand. Be 2 Soviets fighting this, but it'll be a wonderful bout. Nurmagomedov Shahnavazov. And Shahnavazov is a wonderful boxer, so those 2 will really put on a good exhibition. We're glad we were able to bring that to you live. Harvey Richards goes down from the strong right hand of Karavaev, and he advances on. But remember, Harvey Richards is going to be assured of a bronze medal. So he went from the streets to nowhere, back out to the streets, back into the ring, and now he does take home a piece of bronze for the United States, and I'm sure he'll be proud of that a long time. We're going to continue in just a moment. Please stay with us right now, though. We are going to go right back to the fourth game of the USSR and France volleyball contest.
11 serving 5, our score between the Soviet Union and France in the fourth game of this match, and that serve was long. It'll be a side out for France. The Soviet Union took the first game. France came back to take the next two, so the French are ahead 2-1, but they're very decidedly behind in this fourth contest.
Bouvier, they go to him again and again, and he delivers. The Soviets now are playing very jerky ball. Since the timeout, they came in, Zaitsev served out. They missed set just now. Let's see if they get it together. Oh. Nicely played. 11-6. Off that block and just barely out of bounds.
Yuri Penchenko serving. Quick play, catches the Soviet Union off guard, side out for France. Off the block.
Antonov, the man up there, a veritable wall. Fight for that net, he wins.
It's so funny to watch Alexander Savin go back to the serve. He's serving now. He walks very slow, like he's an old man, but he's so quick and cat-like at the net.
Trying to save it.
And the Soviets are looking more and more flat-footed as this match continues.
Savin, who is looking very tired, gets the rest.
So Levinov coming into the game number 6. Pavel Levinov saw a lot of action in the first game, and not so much in the rest of the matches.
He's 34 years of age, a past great, used to be one of the best, 6'4". He's gone in a couple times and come right back out again 3 plays later.
6 serving 11 in game 4. Again, the Soviets are looking extremely flat-footed suddenly.
That's the big hitter that's been carrying the mail for the Soviets, Panchenko. Bad pass, but that ball really dropped.
7-11. Sorokolet gets it back for the USSR.
Here comes the blaster. There's ball is put away well. Sorokolet. Now the jump serve. Beauty.
It's still good. Until it went into the net.
French get lucky that time.
It's always exciting when you see him playing hot potato like this. Right back for the USSR.
And again, I think they're going to the second option here, and Ville just reaches a little bit higher and strokes it. He's getting away with it both times, so no one can complain. Ville gets one he can lean into.
And finally, the Soviets have moved off the 11th point. It is now 12-7.
Ville hits that ball hard and then rubs his shoulder as if he hurt himself a little bit.
Bouvier gets it back for France.
Bouvier again has 9 successful spikes in this game.
Seven to 12. 8-12.
Bouvier serving with a vengeance back there. Timeout called by the Soviets.
This is the third match for both France and the Soviet Union, and this is the fourth game of this particular match between these two. France holds a 2-game-to-1 advantage over the Soviet Union, and right now they're creeping back into game 4. It is 9 serving 12. Laurent.
Oh, the
10
quick
serving
arm.
12.
Stefan 4. Beautiful set by Fabiani. Down it goes. French are to 2 digits, 10 to 12.
Shot out for the Soviet Union.
Antonov comes through for him. Hitting from behind the 10-foot line. He now has 9 spikes, successful spikes also. Tied for high point man right now.
Raymond Vilde serving.
Antonov against Bouvier in the spiking department. You knew it was coming back to him. Antonov.
13 to 10.
Lick those chops.
And for the first time in a long time, the Soviet Union is able to get a point.
Here it is. Antonov delivers in the back corner, right down the line.
Substitution for France. Jean-Marc Jurkovic back in the game.
Big point for the Soviets.
As Raymond Vilde serves it. Let's see if France can regain their composure. Stefan 4, spiking for France. There's the dink. 4 gets it up. Back set to Bouvier. He is blocked, and the block goes long. Side out for France.
Big opportunity lost by the Soviets. The ball is up in the air. Nobody wanted to hit it. Key point for them.
Laurent Tilly serving. Savin fakes. Panchenko hits into the block. Savin taps it over. No one is there for the dink. Point for France, 11 to 13.
Zaitsev there, but he just couldn't move fast enough to recover. The dink was there. He was able to, he should have been able to come up with that ball. A little bit slow reacting.
Listen to those whistles. Crowd does not like what's going on here at the smaller arena.
That time Savin had a ball he could have done something with it, but he dinked it back. French took advantage.
12 to 13.
Here they come.
Allons enfants que la patrie. The French national anthem is dancing in every Frenchman's head. Substitution for the Soviet Union. Yuri Sapega, number 9, coming in. Panchenko comes out. 12 to 13. Antonov gets it back for the USSR. They better close the door here. I don't think the French are going to give them any more opportunities.
Thank goodness for Antonov.
Vyazhesov Zaitsev with the service for the Soviet Union. Jean-Marc Jurkovic.
Second option works.
12 serving 13. Service touched the net.
Almost a great serve there. 13-12.
But almost doesn't count.
Right. Soviets need a biggie here. Jump serve.
Great block by the Soviet Union. It is now 14 to 12, and we are at game point. France has no timeout remaining.
Savin's the man. One-man block. He was there.
This could be it. Antonov. It's still good.
Oh,
yes, it's over.
Alexander Savin.
The Soviet Union upset France 15 to 12. And a great, great surprise victory for the Soviet Union because France was so strong.
Woo. Look at this play. The ball, Antonov knocks the cover off of it. They come back with it. Savin is not about to let it go. Whip him down the court. Point.
And now we are even at 2 games apiece. 15 to 12. The Soviet Union takes games number 1 and 4, with France taking games 2 and 3. Game number 5 coming up.
15-12.
The match between the Soviet Union and France. And things could not get much closer than this. We are even at 2 games apiece, with the Soviet Union taking games 1 and 4, France taking games 2 and 3. Our score is now 0-0. What's at stake here? The winner will face Japan in one semifinal. The loser will face the USA in the other semifinal. Those semifinals are for the medal round and for the Savine Cup. France is in the blue, the Soviet Union in the red. The Soviet Union will serve first.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is a spiker duel. Eric Bouvier in the last 2 games had 21 kills. In the last 2 games, Yaroslav Antonov from the Soviet Union had 16 kills. Both are firing unlimited heat, and it's a question of which one is going to continue and which one will get tired.
Bouvier for France, Antonov for the Soviet Union. And sometimes it's not always that good that you have one gun, because if your one gun gets tired, as very well might happen in a long match like this, you may not have any other offense to turn to.
Bouvier, 6'5", 200 pounds, only 24 years of age. Antonov, on the other hand, is 6'6" and 23, 1 year younger. Let's see how they hold up.
Serving for the Soviet Union, Vyacheslav Zaitsev. Number 2, he is their setter. The rubber game is underway. Point, Soviet Union. Spike was never over the net.
Oh, yes, yes. Jean-Marc Jurkovich skating along. Strikes that ball, tucks it under.
0 serving 1. Good block by Bouvier. Unfortunately, it went out of bounds.
Antonov wins that duel. First put away, off the block and out of bounds. Soviets ahead 1-0. Jump serve coming up.
Yuri Sapega, not a starter in the first game, but a starter in game number 5.
He did the jump serve to win the 14th point, and on the 15th point, he served safe.
Antonov into the block.
1 for 1. Laurent Tilly, very nice block there.
Jean-Marc Jurkovich serving. Nice tip by Savin.
Savin hasn't ripped a ball in a long time. He just tucks it in, pats it here, pats it there. Most of the time finding his way to the floor.
Beautiful put down by Olivier Rossard. He, too, is not a starter regularly in this match. This is the first time he started for the French team.
Must be a lefty, because he really ripped that ball with his left arm. Haven't seen him this tournament.
No block at all. They weren't expecting that hit. They thought he was going to pass it.
Looked like he was going to set that ball up. And then at the last minute, cocks and hits deep. Good play.
Antonov will serve. Premier setter for the Soviet Union, possibly the world. That one was too long. Side out.
Close, but no cigar.
Bouvier with the service. Vilde. Side out.
Soviets appear to have a few more weapons as Vilde comes up in the middle. Down it goes. Little problem with one of the neck pieces of the athlete. I think the referee objected to him having it on. They
Not
really
supposed
don't.
to wear jewelry.
That's right.
1 serving 1. He's lucky his team wasn't charged with a timeout for that.
Bouvier missing on the 10-foot line. First time he's missed, hit into the net. Could be tiring a little bit.
Beautiful off-speed dink by Stefan Foer.
In this stage of the match, everybody's a little tired. That soft stuff works very effectively. Hilde tucking the ball in again. Zaitsev continues to set that ball impeccably.
Hilde back to serve. Step on 4.
Nice quick play. That transition from defense to offense, if you can move it quick enough, you can catch the block flat-footed, and that's what happens.
Every play here has become a chess match.
Sometimes Zaitsev goes for the quick stuff, and Savin can't reach it.
We're tied at 2. But the referee is signaling off the block side out.
Yeah, he got a piece. Yuri Sapega, 6'4", 21-year-old. Fresh blood in that Soviet outfit.
Three serving 2.
And Antonov won that war. Nice block at the net. He and Savin right there.
French better call a timeout pretty soon. They're looking confused. It is now 4-2, the Soviet Union on top.
Zaitsev has gotten 2 of those 4 with his serve.
Severe net violation. 5-2. And France will take a timeout as the Soviets make a run at them, 5-2. Andrei along with Mike O'Hara. Game number 5 in the match between the Soviet Union and France. They are even at 2 games apiece. So this is the 5th final and deciding game for this match. Both these teams undefeated so far in Goodwill Games competition. Beautiful block.
Everybody watching that play on defense. Nobody's moving. Got to cover that hitter. Blocks are too good. Both Soviets and France looking a little tired out there.
Good block by Bouvier. Bouvier and Jerkovitz again.
Oh, yes, got a piece of the block. Got Bouvier. 3rd time is the charm. Great blocks by the French 2 times on him. Came right back to him. Pretty play. Perseverance for the Russians.
Side out France.
Olivier Rossard, 6'4", 20 years of age. Looks fresh in there. That left arm's moving very quickly.
Nice reaction by Bouvier, but it's out of bounds. Side out.
Savin continues to just tap that ball around, getting away with it.
(5-3). Olivier Rossard.
They're using him very effectively in there. Left arm. Nobody's used to blocking that.
Bouvier. Antonov will dink.
Oh, he gets away with it. Bouvier, they got to him twice. Second time, the dink worked.
His facial expressions are so dramatic.
Antonov winning that duel.
Antonov serving.
Free ball.
Julien Bouvier put up a nice block, but it goes right over it.
Vilde was real happy with that dink. Hitters love to, the big hitters love to do the soft stuff for some reason. Nice play.
6-3.
And the serve set that up because it was a bad pass to this terrific serve.
Bouvier gets it back.
Savine just about got that ball back up. Off the block. Savine waves at it, can't quite control it. The X-play, double option, goes to the second man. Block went for the first one. Sarakulit pounded that ball. Here it goes. Nobody in the block. Bam.
This time the net was a little partial.
French net. Ball rolled along the top of it for about 3 feet.
Net violation called against the Soviet Union. Point for France. Net. Ball's not allowed to touch the net.
Net is getting a lot of action those last 3 plays.
Jurkovic lobs it over to the block. Nice solo block by Stefan Foer.
That time Savin tried to hit it hard and they ate him alive. No, couldn't do it. Block was there. Nicely formed. Fabiani saved that play.
That was long. They're saying it touched the block, however, and Jean-Marc Jurkovic raised his hand guiltily. 6-4 rather. This is game number 5. The Soviet Union ahead by 2 points. Bouvier hits into the block.
Pounding that apple still. And off the block and out of bounds.
I like Bouvier's spirit. He's not at all inhibited.
Beautiful player.
Olivier Rossard.
Good serve by Stefan Foer. Quick one-handed set. Zaitsev. Beautiful play.
Carissa Pagos to serve. It is 6 for the Soviet Union, 5 for France. Bouvier. Yes.
Alexander Savin just kind of shrugged his shoulders. He should have been up there in the block. One-man block. No problem for Bouvier.
Jean-Marc Jurkovic serving. Into the net.
Two great blocks in a row by the Soviets.
Nice hustle by Stefan Foer, but it was not meant to be.
Here it is, Antonov. Big up there, so is Vilde.
7-5. Bouvier. Uncontested.
Bouvier hits the one that they figure there's no way he can rip that ball. Sarakulit is blocking up there with Vilde and Antonov. The 3 of them are huge guys and smart blockers. right, so Rockallette. Pretty play.
He comes through, cuts a nice angle cross court. And now he is back to serve.
Oh, Bouvier.
Antonov will not serve again, side out.
Knocking down Alexander Savin. Look at him rip that ball. That's 6 successful spikes in a row for the big boy, Bouvier. There's been 30 side outs so far in only 7-5 score. Both teams siding out extremely well.
Rockallette back to serve.
That time they didn't want Vilde to play that ball because they thought it was going out, but Vilde ripped it anyway. And the sides are changed at 8.
That is the rule in international volleyball, that when it goes to a 5th game at 8 points, they change sides, but neither team has an advantage if there is one.
And there you saw on the left side of the screen Ron Sutton, who's been our stalwart studio cameraman with the American crew. And you saw Alex, the Soviet cameraman, who's working also here with the Soviet crew. And they've done a great job in the studio. I'm going to take a little bit of a break right here, Nick Charles. I'm going to go rest up and get ready mentally. I'm going to mentally prepare for tonight's USA-Brazil basketball game. Brazil has a player whom they just called Oscar, who's a 6'7" forward who's averaging 30 points a game.
He's tough.
Semifinals from Spain.
Yeah, that's going to be quite a game. The U.S. has teetered a bit on the brink. We didn't even think, a lot of us, that they would make the Final Four. Yeah. But they are there, too. So the United States against Brazil. Women's gymnastics coming up, Bob. Team finals. And then, of course, more boxing. This is a very heavy day for boxing. And what a day it was for... We'll see you then on prime time, of course.
I'll be back and rested.
Okay, Bob. What a day it was for Harvey Richards. He was suddenly reinstated after being disqualified a couple of days ago. He got right back into action and ran into the right hand of Soviet Andrei Karavaev, and Richards from Springfield, Illinois, is gone from the tournament almost as quickly as he had returned. Now, speaking of returning, let's go back to that star-studded, stellar volleyball game. The Soviet Union against France. They are in the 5th and final set of this thrilling match.
We are continuing with our coverage of men's international volleyball. This is the 5th and final game of the match between the Soviet Union and France. Our score is 8-5. The Soviet Union is on top. The Soviet Union is serving. We are even, though, in games at 2 apiece.
Double pump. Worked nicely by Laurent Tilly. Again, Elaine Fabriani sets that ball well. There's only one blocker up there. Handles it easily.
Off the block. 6-8.
Here it is, off that block, hitting deep, reaching well. French are coming back.
Antonov.
Great rip by Antonov, and he hits the camera.
And shattered a piece of it. It's something you can't see, but
that's something that was 2 points any day.
Something that was sitting on one of the cameras there at the sideline. Just shattered into a few pieces.
That ball, when hit well, is going in excess of 100 miles an hour. It's been clocked officially at those kinds of speeds, so the ball is really moving around out there.
And the cameraman's lucky it hit his camera and not him.
Line of duty.
Savin. That's really the first piece of muscle we've seen out of Savin in a long time.
The one he tried to hit hard, he got blocked on, but that time there was no one near him. High in the air. Nice deep hit. They finally got off the 8. 9-6. Oh,
putting it where they're not.
Fabiani has nothing he can set with, so he just dumps it in the backcourt. Nobody home. Fabiani has just consistently set that ball well, using all of his spikers, but mainly going to Eric Bouvier because he keeps delivering for him.
Six serving 9. And again, Savin with not a lot of muscle, but finesse.
And he wipes that ball off the block. Here it is. Block is up. Savin uses everything. In-man didn't go up, didn't think possible to get to him, and he did. Pretty hands by Fabiani.
Stefan 4 serving for France. Antonov, left-handed.
Nice.
It'll get you every time.
Nice pass. The ball, Zaitsev has 3 different options. He goes to the outside man, and Antonov delivers one-on-one. He could do that all night.
Point.
That could have been a disaster for the Soviets. They almost stopped play, thinking the ball was had hit the floor, but they persevered and got the point. Timeout called by the French.
Point lead in this game as the French national team gets a side out. This is game number 5. We are even at 2 games apiece. This game will decide the match. Antonov.
And the spiking duel continues. Antonov has 7 spikes successfully in this last game. Bouvier has 5. And the Soviets are ahead 10-6.
Beautiful block by the Soviet Union, and it is now an 11-6 ball game. Savin will serve again.
And here it is, Bouvier trying for his big hit. Number 6 doesn't come up with it. Block eats him alive. Soviets ahead 11-6 now.
Nice up by Savin. Let's see if they can salvage it. Vilde. And the Soviets are still trying to say it was them, not us. No such luck.
Somebody must have hit it.
6 serving 11. Antonov, but they're answering him. Off the block. Point for France. 7 serving 11.
And here it is. They come up with it. Looked like the ball was down.
Bad pass. The Rocklet makes something of it. Antonov with his left hand pulls him again. Side out.
He thought, shall I set it? No, let's rip it. Bam.
Antonov, the most formidable server, possibly in the world. Bouvier. Bouvier again. This time he gets it off the block. Side out.
Does he ever want that set?
I don't think he wants Antonov serving anymore. I think he gets all fired up.
Boy, these 2 spikers are marvelous out there. What a duel.
Sorokola trying to get in on the spikers duel here.
And here he is, snapping that ball. One blocker. He gets him right in between.
And Stefan Four gets it back for France.
Soviets had a man in trouble. Couldn't capitalize on it. Let him sneak that ball through the block.
Antonov.
Bouvier digs him.
Through the block and out of bounds. Point for France.
Great dig by Bouvier. Set that play up. Finch coming back a little. 8-12. 8-11 rather.
9-11. And the Soviet Union takes their timeout as France has closed the gap. They are now within 2. And the serve went out of bounds. Not the time to end a rally when you're trailing by 2 in the rubber game of a match. 2-2 is our score in games. This one will decide who wins the match. Now both of these teams will advance to the medal round. The winner of the match will face Japan. The loser will face the United States, as the United States finish number 1 in their pool. The number 1 team of this pool will face the number 2 team of the other pool, and that team happens to be Japan. And right now, this is the battle to determine who's number 1 in this pool. 10-11.
Sapega kind of stood around that time. He should have put the ball away, didn't, and then didn't get into the block.
And this game is so evenly matched.
Nice.
We're tied.
Nice touch. Philippe Lane, instead of ripping the ball, took something off of it, just went down the line. Nobody there.
And the Bluebirds are out, trying to help the Soviet team.
In the block was into the net. There's so far been 47 side outs by both teams in this game. The average game has 32, so their side outs has just gone back and forth.
And we're only at 11. 15 points is a game. Side out again.
Here it is. The French continue to sizzle on that quick attack.
Stefan Four, number 8, he is serving.
They're
12-11.
They're really getting into Sapega. Yuri Sapega's been shot in there off the bench, and they need to get him out of there. He's very ineffective.
Savin hammers it down.
Ball was right on the net. It looked like the block would capture that one, and Savin beat him to the punch. Nice play.
Sapega serving. It's still up. Antonov with his left hand ties the game at 12.
Brand new ball game, 12-12. Antonov comes through.
The French have no timeouts remaining. The Soviet Union has 1. Our score even at 12. Our games even at 2 apiece.
Bouvier gets blocked. Bites the dust. Savin gets him. Savin and Antonov.
13-12. And all the French can do is substitute and hope that a change in blood will change the fortune. Hervé Malzahn comes in. He is number 3. Coming out is number 7, Jean-Marc Zurkovic. And that was a fine substitution because that did change the fortunes of France. Hervé Malzahn gets the side out.
Nice arm in there.
12 serving 13. Out. Side out.
Sapega watched that ball carefully all the way and let it go out. Smartest thing he's done in the game so far.
Alexander Savin will serve for the Soviet Union. They're ahead by 1 point. They need 2 more to win the match. On the triple option, the Soviet Union was ready. The dinking battle, Soviet Union still ready. Antonov, yes, point, 14.
The big left hand. Antonov winning the duel. He's got 10 successful putaways to Beauvier's 6. Here he is, up in there, by the block, sharply cross-court and down. Great play.
Coming back into the game is Jean-Marc Djokovic, number 7 for France. Savin is serving. Game and match point on the line. His serve, it is gentle. Bouvier gets blocked. It goes out of bounds. And the French are still alive.
Fabiani very wisely going to his bread and butter man.
Philippe Blaine to serve. His team trails by 2. Antonov gets blocked back. 13-14.
Here he is. Block eats him alive. Antonov is mortal.
The French need 1 to tie, 3 to win. Sarakalov finds the gap.
That was kind of a throwdown, but very effective. Sarakalov, instead of hitting, just kind of tapped it through.
Substitution for the Soviet Union. Coming in for the front line is Karikin. Coming out, Zaitsev.
This gives them about a 6'7" front line right now. They're going for the big wall.
Premier server doing the job. Game and match point on the line. It's out. And the Soviet Union has defeated France,
hold on
but
a
the
minute.
second official is saying off the block.
Official down on the floor
A late
says
call.
we got a touch.
The second official here says off the block, and I agree. And the crowd is booing our second official, Stefan Stefanov from Bulgaria.
Call was made a little bit late, but the up official didn't see the down official calling for the touch.
Zaitsev is back in the game, and the French are still alive. It is 13 serving 14. Eric Bouvier behind the line. And there's a substitution now for France. Coming into the game is Zeno Devos. Coming out, number 12, the team captain, Alain Fabiani.
Let's see what happens here. The Soviets thought they'd won that game.
Service is long, side out.
Bouvier.
What a
That's
time.
0. Serves out.
Another substitution now. Fabiani comes back in. He is their setter. That was just a strategic move at the net.
They wanted to have that big wall up there for France. Didn't need it.
Sarakalov serving. Game and match point on the line. No, not this time. Side out.
Savin almost had that ball in his grasp. Quick play. Beats the block. Savin can't quite negotiate it.
Laurent Gilly serving. Antonov. It's still alive if Bouvier can get it over. And he does.
Nice
Putting the
play.
hammer down is Gilday.
Everybody looked for the bat set to the big man. Went to Bouvier instead. Down and went.
We are again at game and match point for the USSR. If they win, they face Japan in the semifinals. A light serve. Second option. Sarakalov ups it. Zaitsev goes to Savin, who is blocked back. And France is still alive.
Savin goes up, tries for the cross court, and here's the wall. Meet the French wall, Mr. Savin. Great play.
And the door has been left ajar by France once more. The setter, Zaitsev, will serve. 14 serving 13.
Zaitsev continues to serve that ball well.
The lob. It hit the ground. He's blowing his whistle. That was obvious to us. But the players weren't going to let the referee get the benefit of the doubt there.
Keep playing until you hear the big whistle.
Yep.
Zaitsev giving it his all. Continues to play well out there. 34 years of age. He's tough.
Stefan 4, 13 serving 14. Antonov gets blocked back, but it's out of bounds.
Ooh,
Side out.
Whoosh. Antonov really happy to see that ball go deep. They had him walled off.
Yuri Sapega serving. He will jump serve aggressively. It's still up. It is still up. Antonov off balance. Bouvier is blocked. Bouvier again. This time he finds
no
the gap.
way. Great hit. Did he get high in the air that second time? Beautiful play. Here it is. Goes back to him again. Bread and butter man. Rip. Down he goes. Super hitting.
Sorokilis. Yes, side out. How many times can this crowd roar, Michael Hara?
We're now at 62 side outs. The average is 32. This is the longest game of the tournament.
I think this is the 5th game point situation. Game and match point situation, I should say. He got it!
So Eric Bouvier goes for the touch instead of blasting that ball. The Soviets take it back in the court, and the game is over. A fabulous finish. Soviets win in the Big 5 game.
Our scores in those games: the first one to the Soviet Union, 15-5. The fourth one to the Soviet Union, 15-12. The final game to the Soviet Union, 15-13. What this means is the Soviet Union will face Japan on Friday in the semifinals. The United States will face France in the other semifinals, and the winner of those two games will go for the gold medal and the Savine Cup. For Mike O'Hara, I'm Leandra Riley. So long from Lennon Central Stadium, smaller arena.
The Broadcast Center, one of the most thrilling team play competition in sports. The moments just a few moments ago when the Soviet Union beat France. It looked like France was going to win this volleyball game, and the Soviet Union stormed back, winning the last two games to take it in 5 thrilling sets. So the Soviets roll on, and they are headed for this inevitable this match with the United States. But first, they've got to play Japan, and that's coming up Friday. We've got a big finish to the Goodwill Games. Tell you about the rest of the week. Friday, the Soviet Union against Japan in the afternoon, and then in prime time, the United States, still ranked #1 in the world. They've got to prove it here, though, in Moscow once again. Will play France, the team that gave the Soviet Union such trouble just moments ago. Women's gymnastics, the individual all-around, the Soviets with a powerful team. And figure skating, we will rerun the 4 world champions in action: men's, women's, pairs, and ice dancing. A sparkling show. It's the talk of Moscow. They've been rerunning the events over the last 2 nights, all day today in the Soviet Union. Moving on to Saturday, it's men's volleyball, the gold medal game. Could be the U.S. and the USSR. Also more women's gymnastics and boxing finals. And then a big finish on Sunday as the Goodwill Games wrap up, the men's basketball gold medal game. Will it be the United States? The Soviets right now are the most powerful team in the world. We've got weightlifting, rowing, and to close it out appropriately enough, the closing ceremony. So there you have it. The last 4 are leading up to the last 3 days of the Goodwill Games. What a thrilling wind-up it'll be. We've been here for a couple of weeks in the Soviet Union, and we'll be back with a lot more after this. Back at the Broadcast Center here in Moscow, and to a subject off the beaten track of sports for a moment. Artist Leroy Neiman has been giving us his impressions of the venues and the sights of Moscow in regular reports. Today, Leroy visits a famous restaurant here in town, eating and sketching his way through a pleasant evening.
Spasibo. Eating out at ethnic restaurants is always an adventure and visually exciting. Moscow is no exception. It's hard to come by egg fouillon in Peking or French toast in Paris. But here in Moscow, they serve up the best beef stroganoff and chicken Kiev this side of the Mississippi, equal to anything served up at New York's famous Russian tea room. Small wonder that Joe Stalin, the Georgian, favored this great Georgian restaurant in Moscow, the Arakvi. Entering the Arakvi, you step down into the cellar-like dining room with its vaulted, rich gold ceilings, all embellished with elaborate ornamentation. Its pressed silver metalwork creates an authentic Byzantine flavor. It's not Stalin's favorite white, but it's a fine Georgian ruby red. I like to spread butter on my Georgian bread, a world-class bread deserving of the best beluga caviar. The Russians truly love sturgeon, which can measure 7 feet and are shaped like the Concorde. Sturgeon serves double duty, providing the succulent caviar. You know, you just don't have to be hungry to eat caviar. It is only correct that you wash down this prestigious legend from the Caspian Sea, glamorized by the imperial court with the world's best vodka. Judging by the vodka consumed, Russia must really harvest large crops of rye and wheat to distill this liquor. Waiters, cab drivers, and chefs look the same world around. The choreography of the waiters' dance is determined by the placement of the tables. The waiters should be applauded when they make pivotal moves. The entrance of the chef into the dining room always creates a stir. The eyes of the chef are those of the artist. The Russian custom of tea in a glass is offered in this still life. Diners can include pink punk hairstyles, a Carole Lombard glamour cigarette pose, a portly party bus flaunting a green Havana, as well as the usual tieless and the unpretentious all enjoying dinner.
Games in Moscow. Here in the Soviet Union, there's about 2 million team handball players. We've got maybe 1,000 combined if you count our club players in the United States. So it's remarkable that the U.S. had been so impressive here. The American team maturing. They clinched the medal on Monday. They played the Soviets brilliantly in losing later in the week. And tonight, they went up against a very strong team from Poland. Let's pick up the action. The U.S. playing, trying to get a silver medal here. Trailing Poland late, 20-18. Let's go to Druzhba and for the call, Craig Sager and Dr. Peter Buning.
7 minutes to play in the game. The United States is trailing 20-18. Poland has scored 2 goals in a row. The U.S. has been able to come from behind most of the day, but they're going to have to do it again here in the final minutes of the game. The U.S. needing a victory for the silver medal. Djokovic to Goss. Into McBain. His shot is blocked by Goliat. Tipped up by Goss and controlled by Goliat. Poland with the ball and a 2-goal lead. 6:40 to play. Looks like a rough day so far for Garcia Javier, and he's not even playing.
He's not too happy right now with the execution of our players.
Every time they get back within a goal or tie it, Poland is able to come out again and build up a 2 or 3 goal lead. That's Anchuk to Zubia to Playhots. Playhots drops it in. And we're going to have a foul called on Joe Story.
He was hoping for a penalty call there, but it was clearly not warranted.
It's Poland 20, United States 18. 6 minutes to play. The U.S. down by 2 goals and a bid for a silver medal. The pass is dropped in. Kessler gets it. A fast break to Morava. Morava by himself takes the shot. It's good. Greg Morava gets the goal, and we're also going to have a 2-minute penalty coming up against number 7 Playhots. Greg Morava with a breakaway for the United States.
Excellent. Greg is going down court, being fouled here. He retains possession and the ball trickles into the goal.
Schneeberger will take the penalty shot. And Schneeberger puts it in. So Schneeberger scores for the U.S.
After 4 for 4 by Joe Story, Schneeberger keeps up the pace on the penalty shooting for the U.S. and we within 1 goal of being tied again.
The goal by Morava did not count. The whistle had blown. And so Schneeberger came in and scored. Poland with the ball. Poland with a man disadvantage.
At 5:19 left in a half in the game.
It's Poland 20, the United States 19. Final 5 minutes of the game. The U.S. has been fighting from behind. On the bench for Poland, number 7, Zbigniew Plejhoc. He is serving a 2-minute penalty. The U.S. has a man advantage, but they do not have the advantage when it comes to the score, and they have not had the advantage for most of the day, Peter.
The best we have done so far is, I guess, just tied, right? We have not been in the lead.
At one point, they did take a 1-goal lead, but that was way back in the first half. They've been behind this entire second half. Poland with the ball in the corner to Skalski. Skalski drops it off to Zubia. Zubia tied up by Goss, drops into the circle runner Banovic, and he too is tied up. And they call it delay of games, and now Morava gets it for the U.S. in a quick fast break. And we are going to have a 2-minute penalty coming up against Poland. Number 6, Urbanovic, and isn't he gone for the game?
Yes, he's gone for the game, and this was a very good call by the referees because the moment the whistle blows, you have to release the ball. This is unsportsmanlike conduct to hold the ball, automatic 2-minute penalty, and a tremendous advantage, tremendous break for the U.S. team. We are 6 against 4, and if the U.S. team has not done anything poorly today. It's just they have not executed on their power plays.
The United States will have a 2-man advantage for portions of the next minute, but then they will have the advantage for the rest of the game as going to the locker room is Urbanovic. Urbanovic is expelled from the game for having 3 2-minute penalties. The U.S. with the ball and a big advantage, but they are trailing 20-19. The pass goes into Story. The shot is blocked by Goliev. Garcia Javier, the U.S. coach, setting up the play. Now it goes to McVeigh. His shot is blocked by Goliev. We are seeing unbelievable goaltending. U.S. brings it back again. Let's see if he can block it again. Story tries, and he's blocked again. 3 shots in a row on goal, blocked by Goliev. Poland remains the lead, 20-19, and a big ovation from this crowd.
This is unbelievable. 3 well-executed shots. But better action yet by the goalie.
And the United States now has just a man advantage. The penalty is over to Plejhoc. But gone for the game is Urbanovic, and he will not be able to be substituted for in these final 3 minutes and 34 seconds. The U.S. is down by a goal.
Time has been called. There's a red spot on the floor. Referee will be watching very keenly right now for delay of games or passive play on the part of Poland. Poland must maintain their attack.
The first recorded game in team handball was over a century ago, but they did not start playing real competition until shortly after World War I. Peter, you've seen them play for many, many years. This is the closest the United States has ever been to a medal.
Both in score and also in performance. This is the best U.S. team we have had, and they have playing well within themselves. This is a great team, and we'll have better results in the future.
Hoping for the silver medal here. Poland with the ball on top, 20-19. Plejhoc with the ball in the corner to Sadovi. Back to Plejhoc. Plejhoc drops it off in the corner. It goes to Skalski. It's blocked by Kessler. Kessler comes up with a great play, but he throws the ball away. But coming up with it, a loose one, and Poland gets it. Sadovi.
Poland has all the luck right now, but they also have the skill.
Coach Garcia Javier for the United States. Emotionally drained. Just 3 minutes to play in the game. His team is down by a goal. Around to the left-hand side to Skalski. Skalski is tied up, and Poland remains with the ball. They are in no hurry to score whatsoever. They're watching the clock. They have the lead. They have the ball, playing at a man disadvantage. U.S. defense cannot let Poland score here.
They're just doing enough to not to lose the ball on pass their play, and they're trying to drive in for an opportunity to score.
Just tying up, as you mentioned, the clock continues to roll. 2 minutes, 33 seconds to play in the game. Around to the left-hand side to Skalski. Skalski to Playhouse. Playhouse to Savoy to Playhouse. Scott Carlson in for the United States, trying to find some way to get that ball knocked loose. Into the circle runner, and a shot and a goal. So Poland scores shorthanded. Chargé with a goal for Poland.
Well, it's the number 6 man had just come in. They were playing 15 seconds with 6 men. Reopened their attack, got the ball to the circle runner, and Billy Kessler again didn't have a chance, right through the legs.
The task is a monumental one again for the United States, trailing 21-19, less than 2 minutes to play in the game. Steve Goss to Jakovic. Jakovic with the ball for the U.S. Jakovic takes it, and he has the shot deflected. A whistle is called, and it was knocked off one of the Polish players, so the U.S. will have the ball. The United States needing to score against Goliath. Arava, cross-court pass to Jakovic. Jakovic, bounce pass to Story. And a whistle. We're going to have a 2-minute penalty coming up against Malushkevich. So the United States.
She has said all afternoon a very, very physical play on the part of the Polish team. I believe that's the third one of Malushkevich as well. No, only the second
was
one.
kicked out of the game, but they were able to bring in a substitute after 2 minutes. This is McVeigh. He is blocked again by Goliath, but we are going to have a penalty shot coming up for the United States. A minute, 10 seconds to play in the game. Tom Schneeberger taking the penalty shot for the United States. He needs to score here. He has to score. And he does it. He hits the crossbar.
Tremendously hard shot. The goal seems all of a sudden seems to have shrunk.
So close.
Man-to-man defense, full court press by the U.S. team. And he forced a turnover, double dribble.
And finally, they're going to stop the clock with 39 seconds. The U.S. will have the ball. They're down by 2 goals.
And they're up by 1 man. We're again playing 6 against 5. And
Steve Goss fires it in. It's deflected off a player from Poland. We have 30 seconds to play. The United States is down by 2 goals. Jakovic to Goss. Goss finds the goal. Goss makes it 21-20. It's so important not only for the United States to win this game, but if they can't win, to keep that score close, because they could still win a medal on goal differentials. 15 seconds to play. Poland with the ball.
Again, a full court press by the U.S.
They bring the goalkeeper. If they can get the ball, they got an open net. 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's the end of the game. Poland defeats the United States by the score of 21-20.
So Poland beats the U.S. What a fight the U.S. put up, though. They've won 2, lost 2. A lot of people didn't expect the Americans to be this mature and together, but they sure have. In fact, if Poland upsets the Soviets, a complicated tie-breaking procedure would ensue, and the U.S. could be out of the medal running. However, when Poland goes up against the USSR tomorrow, the Soviets are pronounced favorites to win that game. And if the Soviet Union beats Poland, the United States would clinch a silver medal. So a lot of people didn't expect that, and it looks like a reality now. Coming up tonight on our primetime coverage with Bob Neal, men's basketball semifinals from Spain, World Championships, the United States against Brazil. Also women's gymnastics, the team all-around finals. And then in boxing, a lot more bouts coming up. A lot of action today as we head for the finals of that one. Meanwhile, you're looking at a poster by Julie Cho from Andover, Massachusetts. Julie is 11 years old, and she is a state runner-up in the Samantha Smith poster contest. Julie's poster is called Everyone's Skating. Our congratulations to her, and we'll be back after this. TBS Sports' coverage of the Goodwill Games, where action in Moscow today was both on and off the field, headed by the controversy surrounding U.S. boxer Harvey Richards. The International Boxing Committee overturned a referee's disqualification of Richards for a low blow, and suddenly he was back in the tournament. The young fighter from Springfield, Illinois, however, ran into the dangerous right hand of Soviet light heavyweight Andrei Karavaev, and so Harvey Richards' quick ascent into the gold medal chase ends, but he does win a bronze medal. There's a lot more boxing ahead tonight when Bob Neal is along with our prime time coverage, but the action will be punctuated by the basketball from Spain. We show you the semifinal game between the United States and Brazil in the Men's World Basketball Championship. So, Goodwill games continue, but for now, it's so long from Moscow and the Soviet Union.
The Goodwill Games, co-sponsored by Turner Broadcasting System Incorporated, the USSR State Committees for Television and Radio and for Physical Culture and Sport, are not affiliated in any way with Goodwill Industries of America Incorporated, who conduct the Goodwill Industries Games in various locations around the world to provide the healthy experience of competition to disabled persons. Turner Broadcasting System Incorporated urges your support of the Goodwill Industries and our games. The night